I cannot believe that it's raining outside. You can hear the rain. I'm literally like freaking out with how it's like a perfect day for a read through. I have been excited about this read through because it's bitch. It's bitch. It's not bitch. It's bitch was my other film. It's a Scottish love story to Glasgow, so it's the fucking irony and truth and the joke that it is fucking raining in Glasgow the day we do the read through is like fucked. But you can hear the rain because I opened all my windows because it's fucking sweltering and hot, and I can't cope. It's like one of those days where we're just like, oh yeah, Scotland is real. But I'm making this massive charcuterie board for everyone who's coming for the read through. So I have, you know how these cocktail sausages, you can only get them. You can only get them here. You can't get them in other parts of the world. They don't have it in other parts of the world. And I didn't eat all morning because I was so excited about the read-through. I'm excited about this crystal that I got in Los Angeles last week. I got that at LAX. At the airport, there's like a crystal fucking shop, and I was like, ooh. I was like, I'll be fucking, it's like coffee. I'll be using that crystal. Okay, so basically I've got like 25 things going on because different people are reading the roles. A lot of people are reading one role because we're just trying to keep it intimate. And I was remembering when I did Bitch, I actually at Bryce Howard's house, Bryce Dallas Howard, I had adults read the children characters. Like I had Jeremy Strong read the kid and like a teenager. I had Erin Way, who's like literally a grown woman. I had her read a child's role because I didn't want children to read the roles of the children because the subject matter of the read-through was so intense. When we were on set, I protected the children from other parts of the film, like the real babies. Like there was a 5-year-old, there was like a 7-year-old, you know. I love directing kids and I love directing dogs. But for the read-through, it was definitely kind of like fun to see adults read kids' roles. Like that usually doesn't happen. And they were just up for it, you know, like all my fucking... I had Jocelyn Town read my role because I wanted to hear it out loud. And when I have the read-through of the first draft of anything I've written, it feels really good because it feels like I can hear it for the first time in the world. It's like being born. It's like a baby being born. It's like you've been pregnant this whole time and then whoops, the baby's popped out. You're like, okay, the read-through means the baby's here. You're like crowning. Oh my God. I've actually never crowned myself. Anyway, it's funny, but a read-through does help me because I've read what happens with Bitch is I wrote Bitch in 2 days. I went away to Lake Tahoe because I had a voucher for a hotel. You can hear the rain calm down. I had a gift voucher for a hotel in Lake Tahoe, so I went to Lake Tahoe, and Lake Tahoe was beautiful, but I stayed in the hotel room the whole time, and I just wrote Bitch for 2 days, and I got room service. And I remember that room. Like, I remember the room because it was like an R.D. Lang, he's a Glasgow, very south side of Glasgow doctor. He was from the 60s, 70s. He's very attractive. He looks like a model, but he like didn't act like a model. He was a very intellectual doctor. And he actually treated patients who were unwell, who weren't, you know, operating members of society, but he treated them with this thing he called rapport, where it's literally like getting into a chat with them and feeling like they're respected and you're actually listening to them as opposed to the rest of society who haven't listened to them, or maybe their family didn't listen to them in that way. And when he had them have a rapport, when he had a rapport with them, he could then like make suggestions gently and do different things for them. But he wasn't, you know, ostracizing them. He wasn't judging them. He wouldn't do any of the stuff that most people do with the mentally ill, or who we call the mentally ill. Oh, I'm glad there's a truck backing up. I feel like, are you delivering Natalie Clark to my house? Natalie Clark's about to come. I can't fucking wait. Natalie's like my spirit animal. She was a lover of the mountain lion in LA with me at the same time as we both loved that mountain lion. Anyway, true facts, because it came past my window, like literally walked past my window, my kitchen window, and I was just like, Natalie, fuck's sake, because Natalie's on my land. And I was like, this is the mountain lion here to say hello. And she was like, fuck's sake. And we were on the news. They came to see us. Like, it was, the TV, it was like KTLA or something came to my house and was like standing in my garden. And I remember the guys all came into my house to get water and stuff. They were so thirsty because they were working on the street. Like, everyone who's shooting that film, that TV segment. And the reporter was so nice. Anyway, he couldn't believe that we were from Scotland. Like, he was just like, what the fuck's happening? And I was like, I know. Anyway, there was so many things that happened in LA, and that was just one of them. But anyway, I think it was while I was doing Glow that happened. But the other concept that I had when I was doing the read-through of Bitch was like, oh, with Rad Dad for a Squirter, this TV show, not TV show, the script that I wrote, the next one is my 18th film that I'm going to do as a writer-director. That one, I wrote it in 4 hours at my house in LA because Elijah Wood and I had been doing Bitch with him. And those people who I was working with told me to write a comedy next. Elijah Wood was literally so helpful. And I was kind of like, I think I'm going to write a comedy next because when I did Bitch, it was so scary. Like, it's such a scary film. It's a thriller. And I've done other films in between that. I've done lots of other films and lots of other TV shows between the idea of doing a rom-com. But it's literally a love story for Scotland. It's a love story for America. It's about how the American dream is really in Glasgow, in Scotland. Because there's these guys who are musicians and they get dropped by their label. They're American and their label's like, you guys aren't making any money for us. You have 0 fans. You don't even, like, there was one blogger online who said something about you, but you don't have fans, like, you don't make money, so we're dropping you. And they were like, oh my god, like, how could you drop us? But they have to leave America because they get so depressed and they feel like the American dream is in Scotland, because when you're in Glasgow you actually get paid to play as a musician. The second you land here you get paid. It's a proper job, it's like being a dentist. It's the same thing. You get paid to be a musician. Like, if you're a fiddler or you're a guitarist or you're a singer, people take it so seriously. That's your full-time job. You don't have to do 25 jobs to afford it. Like, in America, you have to do like 1,000 jobs in addition to being a musician in order to pay to play. Like, at the Roxy, you have to pay the Roxy if you want to play there, or any venue in America. You have to pay the venue if you're a musician, which is insane because that's the opposite in Scotland, where if you are a musician, they pay you. The venue pays you. Because the fucking crowds want to see musicians, it's like a real job. And there's like, you throw a stone, you find a busker. You throw a stone in Scotland and you find like graffiti art that was commissioned by the government here, because we know graffiti changes everything. Someone said if graffiti changed anything, it would be illegal. Somebody said that as a joke because it's like graffiti changes stuff, so they made it illegal, And graffiti changes everything, but it's not illegal in Scotland. They pay you to do it here. So this is the idea. This is the idea of that film. Like, I wrote it to be like, oh, let's do an anthem for Scotland. Let's do an anthem for love. Let's do like they're sober people. They don't smoke. They don't drink. They don't do the stuff that, like, I don't smoke, I don't drink. So it's like this idea of like who we really are as Scottish people, put that kind of in the film. And the idea that I wrote it in 4 hours. I remember at my house writing it, and it was 50 pages in, and I had a tea. I made like a herbal tea at my house in LA. And I remember thinking when I was making the herbal tea, I'm probably going to finish this soon, like in the next few minutes or as soon as possible, And then I did it another 2 hours, and then I was finished. I had 99 pages with a title page, and I always have 100 pages with the script. So the idea for me is that I'm very kind of ideal when it comes to, oh my god, let me just show you how nice this makeup is. Oh my god, it's so sparkly. I'm very ideal when it comes to what I want to say, because my films are about how somebody told me recently my films are about how you should never give up on love. So that's a nice thing. You can look up from the beginning of my work, when I first made Good Dick when I was a baby, as an infant. I made that film as a child, and if you look at that concept, it is about, if you look at all my work, it is about how you should never give up on love. Like, every film's about that. So you can say that about this one too, because it's a rom-com. Like, it's so funny. It's so much easier kind of to do something that's funny, like, for me. I don't know, because I like have been funny my whole life, but have done all these serious films about intimacy and like connection and crowds drawing together. Or Bitch was like a fart, like it's like Bitch is like an acid spitting farce, feminist farce, but it's about men as well. Like, it's literally like a humanist film. All my films are about men too, so there's humanist movies, like, but they're very kind of like pro-connection, pro-men and women having the divine feminine together. So that's a serious thing, but it's funny. There's everything that you could say I've ever done is funny, but also with this one, Rad Dads is just funny the whole fucking time. So I can't wait for the street there, because it's going to be all the legends in my life are here just like fucking doing it with me. I can't explain how excited I am for this day. So that's why I made a charcuterie board, because I was like, let's fucking go. And I feel like after this, I'm gonna have so many things to do in June that are just gonna be chilled out. Like, I can't fucking wait. I was like, I'm gonna go to a Chinese restaurant with my whole family after this, like, with my crew. I want to be like, this is a team. Like, I'm taking them to the fucking, we might go to Ho Wong, we might go to see the Degree show, so we might go to like the restaurant that is in the Chinese center, like at Kikadens. You guys know what I'm talking about. We might go there, but we might also go to Ho Wong. Like, I just want to go somewhere where we were like, can celebrate that we did the read through and we can have chill vibes. Like, just nothing better than doing a read through. Look how nice my pillows are. They're from Asda. It's Asda George. It's Stacey Solomon. She's such a mum. Stacey Solomon's like a mum, and she still designs shit. I'm like, she's a mum and she designs shit. Okay, catch up. Anyway, can't deal with. Oh my god, I'm just like falling all over the place. I can't cope with how excited I am, because I feel like it's not just me coming back to Scotland and doing something here, which I did Ned's here, obviously, with Peter Mullen. That's literally like the reason why I'm breathing is because of Ned's. My mum just brought me all these Ned's photos, like this one. Oh my god, look. That's me with the red hair. That's me with my Babcha with the red hair in my trailer. Babcha Bronya! My mum just brought me this, me and Mullen. Anyway. Oh my god. I don't want to move too much. I'm not trying to do like a roly-poly before the read-through starts. But anyway, we did Scottish Muscle here with Tallulah Riley. That was a comedy as well, but I didn't write it. And I didn't direct it, but I did put like every Ned I knew in that film. And hired all the Neds again after we did Neds. So it's nice to do something that's like my story, my directing, my vibe. And it's really Glasgow. Like, I was talking about it. I think I was talking to the lady who used to run the Glasgow Film Festival, you know, because she's such a genius. And she was telling me that she used to be really into punk rock before she started to be into film, you know. And I was like, oh my god, like, everyone in Glasgow is so deep. Like, they can take their artistry back through like a theme like feminist punk rock and be like, oh my fucking god, we're all like that in Glasgow. I mean, in Scotland, people in general are beep 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 go, beep 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 go. Somebody's beeping here for me. It's like the beat of your heart for Shakespeare. Da, da, da. It's like in Casualty where they're still alive. Or in Shakespeare when he's like, gagang. In Dirty Dancing when he's like, dancing's about your heart, and he's like, gagang, gagang, gagang. That's also Shakespeare where you're like, Shakespeare's just like, gagang, 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 gagang. It's all the same shit. Anyway, the idea that Scotland, fucking since when has Scotland ever had like a rom-com that's ours, that's by Scottish people? That's why I liked talking to the head of this Glasgow Film Festival about it, because I felt like we want a thing that's us, it's our story told by us, and all the people, like the writer, the director, everyone who's doing it is Scottish, right? Like, it's so much cooler to have that be the case than it being something that's not that, where you're like, oh, it gets a little bit diluted, or a little bit like the culture gets like seen from outside a little bit. And as soon as that happens, you lose like the rawness of it, you lose the authenticity of it just a little bit, you know. It becomes a little we're not in the G12 bubble or whatever, G3 bubble. Like, you're not in these bubbles of what it really means to live in Glasgow, you know. So, oh my God, it's such a relief for me today to be able to do this read through, because I've had this script in the back burner, like, as my next film, coming in hot all this time. And I just think it's like the perfect time, because Glasgow needs it more than ever, Scotland needs it more than ever, America needs it more than ever. Like, everybody needs these stories to be a love story where you can just go, oh my God, we can actually fucking be radical for these people. We can be excited for them. We can be, I don't know, we can be like their hype people, you know. Like, I want to have a film that we can say, oh, that is so Scottish. If we did that, it's like what Sean Connery told me to do. Sean Connery told me to do this because when he gave me the directing award when I was a child, I was a baby, I was still an embryo. I was literally 21 when he gave me the directing award for my first film, Good Dick. Sean Connery was like, you need to keep making stuff for Scotland. When you make things, it needs to be for Scotland, you know? Because he had a Scotland Forever tattoo, and he didn't just believe in Scottish independence, like, he was Scottish independence and that movement. And I love that the rain quiets down, because Sean Connery from heaven's like, shut the fuck up, rain. But the idea that you need to do it for Scotland, like, that's what he said. He was like, it's all fun and games, like, I know that you mentioned Scotland and you have all these like Scottish vibes and Good Dick, but you know, you have to do all the other films you're doing, you have to do them for Scotland. Whatever work you're doing, you have to do it for Scotland. And it was literally like a clarity that I needed, because then I felt like I could do anything, because I wanted to do that anyway, but he gave me the permission to like do it, the most hardcore version of it, you know. And even Bitch was just based on a story. I know it was set in America because I set it in America on purpose, but Bitch is literally I made it about a Trump voter, a man, but also a woman who's becomes a dog. But that was an R.D. Lang case that he really had. He was a Glasgow doctor, so that's like a Glasgow story, even though it's set, you know, in America. And if you look at all my work, you can see all these Scottish themes, you know. But I also like this idea of taking the working class areas and being like, oh, by the way, people who live there are better dressed than us, they look better, they've got more style, they're better read than people in universities. Like, there's so many flats I was in Maryhill in the East End where you go, oh my fucking God, like Easter House or anywhere you go, like just even fucking like Govan or something, where you're like, these cunts like have all these books in their house. Like, they're not like the way that you see them in this like social realism or whatever films, where like, yeah, we're glad that somebody made a film about anything about Scotland, but the idea that they have this shit life and it gets worse, like tragedies for the working classes or something, but like only the upper classes get to have like love, true love, or like true beauty in cinema. Like, it feels a wee bit like that here sometimes, where you just like, how many films you have to see where it's like negative Nancy's, you know, like sad situation gets worse. And it's kind of like, well, what if you just look at how the working class actually are, you know, what it is like to be from there. Because I lived in Maryhill before, and it's like, squeeze me, but like when I was there, like I got better stories told to me than I ever got told in other parts of Glasgow, in like the West End bars, you know. Like, there's so much more dynamicism, and it's like, sorry, but like the people who had the Armani suits were all in the working class areas. The people who had like if you haven't been there, you think everyone's wearing like tracksuits or something, but actually people are wearing like really fancy jackets, like what am I talking about? Like a toggle top jacket, like yeah, like a trench coat with toggles on it, where you're just like, yo man, like you didn't get that down the Paddy's market. Like where did that come from? But they're like, I'm fucking more stylish than you, so just catch up. So anyway, the idea that, I think it was Mullen that told me when he was doing Shallow Grave, the costume designer wanted to put Peter Mullen in a kappa suit, like a tracky bottom top, you know, tracky bottoms and shit. And Mullen was like, I'm the head of this gang. It says in the script, I'm the head of the gang, so I'm going to wear an Armani suit. He's not going to wear, like, he's got money. He's not going to wear, like, fucking something from that he could get as granny size second hand, you know? Like, he's going to be fucking well-dressed. So anyway, like, there's this flashiness that occurs regardless of who you are that you can do as a human being. Like, you have those options, and it doesn't have to be this stereotypical thing where we've literally, like, made the Scottish working class person look very stereotypical and all these, like, very ridiculous concepts that just piss me off because it's not actually reality. Like, if you throw a stone in Glasgow, you find a well-dressed granny, you know what I mean? And her hair looks better than anyone else's, and you're just like, mate, like, they look better than anybody else, you know what I mean? Like, these old grannies are, like, getting on the buses in Glasgow, and they look like Sophia Loren. They do. They look like Sophia fucking Loren, you know? And I wanted to make a version of the working class story in Rad Dads that's not what you've seen it before, because it's just what my experience is of it, which is, like, what it was like for me, which is, like, it's magical, it's gorgeous. There's a dignity and, like, a style. There's a real style that exists that hasn't been captured in cinema before because nobody believed it, or they just, like, tried to make it stereotypical. But by doing that, they twisted it into something that it's not, you know what I mean? So, like, a working class person growing up in Scotland can see my film and go, oh, that feels like what it's like to live here, you know? And that's my job as a filmmaker, I feel like, is be like, is pee everywhere, but also be like, be on it, and understand what you're doing is precious, you know? You're actually, like, giving the gift to the world or whatever that we all need and all that shit. So anyway, oh my god, this isn't even my outfit I'm wearing to the read through. I can't believe I'm wearing something that's basically pajamas. Oh my god. Anyway, I always feel like my granny from Heaven Baptist here. I always feel like my dad, who's literally the most Glaswegian guy, even though he was born in Helensburgh, but he, like Scott McTominay's granny, lives in Helensburgh. Anyway, my dad is not far from there, but my dad was born there, but he also had Irish blood on his mum's side, Dublin Irish, and then Polish blood on his dad's side. That's where the polka comes from. So we just go, okay, like, we actually understand that we're here for, like, a long time, not a short time. We're here for a long, good time, not a short time, and not a short, bad time. So, like, we're committed to the Scottish vibes and this concept that we can really do anything. Like, with this year, even just Scotland qualifying for the World Cup, it felt like, oh, we can actually do anything, so let's take it and run with it. Like, the dreams are real. We can actually do something and achieve our biggest dream possible, you know? And it's like an honor to be here. So I could cry with how honorable I feel, or like how low-key I feel about it, because, like, everybody here is so, like, Natalie Clark is just, like, such a little fairy, and she's, like, coming here to do it, and, like, oh, she's gonna wear my lobster slippers, because I was like, Natalie, if you wear my lobster slippers at the read through, I feel like it'll go well. Of course it's gonna go well anyway, because, like, it's just chill people doing chill shit, but also, like,